evening, viewers, and welcome to today's edition of the news. First, a look at the headlines. Millets have increasing relevance in the world in the backdrop of climate change and conflict, says External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman holds pre-budget consultations with representatives of services sector. NGOs hold sit-in demonstration to stand in solidarity with the victims of Mukro shooting incident. And mobile internet suspended for another 48 hours in 7 districts of Meghalaya. And now the news in detail. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar today said millets have increasing relevance in the world today in the backdrop of COVID, climate change and conflicts. He was speaking at the pre-launch of India's year-long grand celebration of International Year of Millets 2023 in New Delhi. Dr. Jaishankar stressed that millets are important for food security as well as international relations. He said COVID was a period that reminded the world that a pandemic could do to food security. He said climate changes can lower production and disrupt trade. He suggested that in international relations, much greater attention ought to be given to food security. High Commissioners and Ambassadors of India from over 60 countries attended the pre-launch celebration.
Three big challenges which we have experienced and continue to experience. They are, to my mind, the 3 C's: COVID, conflict, and climate. And each one of them, in some way, has actually impacted food security. We had a lockdown in 2020. Probably some of the countries who were most concerned were our immediate neighbors and countries of the Gulf, because countries of the Gulf were importing food from us on a daily basis. And we actually, even in the middle of the lockdown, assured them and delivered on that assurance that we would keep the food supply chain.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman chaired her 5th pre-budget 2023 consultations with the experts of services and trade in New Delhi today. The meeting was attended by Ministers of State for Finance, Pankaj Chaudhary and Dr. Bhagwat Karat. It was also attended by Finance Secretary Dr. T.V. Somanathan and other senior officials. Amidst tight security to stand in solidarity with the victims of Mukro shooting incident, 5 pressure groups today held a sit-in demonstration at Kyangnangba Statue Civil Hospital Junction. The pressure groups, namely KSU, RBYF, FKJGP, JSU and HYNF, informed that there will be a series of agitations in the coming days. Talking to DD News, KSU General Secretary Donald Thaba informed that all the NGOs here in Shillong protested against the high-handed attitude of the Assam government regarding the recent killing of innocent civilians by the Assam police. He further added that the Meghalaya government should take concrete steps to prevent such atrocities in the future by providing adequate security measures in the border villages. Besides the sit-in protest today, they are also holding a candlelight vigil in solidarity with the victims.
To express our anguish with regards to the 22nd November unprovoked firing by the forest officials and police officials of the Assam government onto the unarmed civilians of Mukro and its adjoining villages. Assam not only intrude inside the borders into Meghalaya, but it also committed atrocities and committed heinous crimes against the Khasis of Meghalaya. So the Mukro incident is not the first incident where the high-handedness of the government of Assam has been observed. It had happened since the state's 50 years establishment. We have seen that many atrocities are being committed by officials from the government inside the borders of Meghalaya.
The state government has suspended mobile phone internet for another 48 hours in the 7 districts of Meghalaya. State Home Department official informed that the order is effective from 10 a.m. today to another 48 hours. It may be mentioned that soon after the Mukro firing incident, the government had suspended the mobile internet from Tuesday for 48 hours. Extending a helping hand, the opposition Trinamool Congress has decided to grant an ex gratia payment of rupees 5 lakh each to the families of the deceased and support for those who were injured in the Assam police firing at Mukro village in West Jayanti Hills district on Tuesday morning. Meghalaya TMC Parliamentary Party leader Dr. Mukul Sangma visited the ground zero immediately to stand in solidarity with the distressed. AITC leader Dr. Sangma, while talking to media, said that the villagers living in those areas are subjected to constant harassment and atrocities, thereby forced to live in fear. Dr. Sangmas also said that there has been surge in instances of alleged oppression, suppression, harassment and atrocities against our people living in villages along Assam-Meghalaya border by the authorities from Assam.
Interstate border. Having been able to go to the place of occurrence and meet the people, the villagers, I was perturbed to hear many of the stories that revolves around the people there and the kind of suppression and oppression and atrocities to which they were being subjected by the authorities of Assam. I think it would be only in the fitness of things if friends from media can really go down there and then listen to their stories so that you will know what exactly was happening from the horse's mouth.
Assam Mazdoor Union has restricted petroleum supply to Meghalaya Petroleum Dealers Association of Meghalaya. Sanchet Surekha, General Secretary, Petrol Pump Dealers Association of Meghalaya, asked the state government to intervene into the matter, which can pose a problem to consumers in Meghalaya.
I would like to make a plea to our government to kindly intervene into the matter and see that Assam Petroleum Mazdoor Union, without any reason, they should not keep blocking the supplies of our state. I feel for the next at least 2 days, our state should not be having any problem. Even if we do not receive supplies for the next 2 days, we have sufficient supplies in our state. All the petrol pumps are almost working at full capacity. So for the next 2 days, there should not be any shortage of petrol. But after that, if we do not receive our supplies within the 2 days, we should be seeing a lot of petrol pumps going dry.
And now here is the weather report. The maximum temperature recorded was 20.6 degrees Celsius, while the minimum temperature was 9.3 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity in the morning was 59%, while in the evening it stood at 62%. The forecast: a dry weather is likely in most places. Our news bulletin is also available live on our YouTube channel, Instagram and Twitter. In addition to watching on television, viewers may visit the DD News Shillong YouTube channel to tune in to our daily bulletin. And before we conclude, a look at the headlines once again. Millets have increasing relevance in the world in the backdrop of climate change and conflict, says External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman holds pre-budget consultations with representatives of services sector. NGOs hold in demonstrations to stand in solidarity with the victims of Mukro shooting incident. And mobile internet suspended for another 48 hours in 7 districts of Meghalaya. And that's a wrap of today's edition of the news. Thank you very much for joining us, and from all of us here is wishing you good night.